If you're looking for a car with a lot of blingy features, gimmicky even, and cannot compromise on that, you might as well just skip what we are driving. But if you're among the ones that make their car purchases with their heads, so to speak, if you want good value and peace of mind for what you pay, if you want a car that has its fundamentals properly sorted, then you might want to watch this video until the end. If nothing else, it'll at least make your car purchase decision a bit easier. Namaste folks, I'm Sumit Suvarna, and today we are on a little date with the Honda Elevate, courtesy Artha Honda, Mangalore. The compact SUV segment today is a very busy space. A lot of cars with a lot of features, a lot of bling. And in that little storm of options in the market, we've got the Honda Elevate. We'll discuss the design and the features a bit later in the video and instead head straight to the driver's seat to tell you exactly what makes this Honda stand out. The moment you're in the driver's seat of the Elevate, the whole SUV vibe of this SUV becomes quite evident. You sit high up and you get a commanding view of what's happening outside. If you're looking for an SUV that feels like a proper old school SUV, then I think the Elevate would make you really happy, especially when you're in the driver's seat. I'm driving the 1.5 litre IV Tech producing 121 bhp of power and 145 Nm of torque. This is the only engine on offer and it's available either with a 6-speed manual or a 7-step CVT. Now if you're all about numbers, you're probably all set to tune out. But hold on, this is still a Honda VTEC motor and it's a 1.5 litre VTEC and I'm driving the 6-speed manual. You know what that means, right? It means it is still a phenomenal pairing that'll manage to keep you thoroughly engaged and at times entertained. It may not give you that kick in the pants feel at around 2000 RPM that some of the turbocharged options in the segment may. But what it does is this. It revs all the way till 7000 RPM, it screams all the way till 7000 RPM, and then you suddenly realize that you're smiling. That's what it does. It puts a smile on your face every single time you drive it. It's going to do it now, it's going to do it 10 years after you've owned it, and it'll probably keep doing it even after you're gone. When you compare this with other naturally aspirated engines, very few come close. In fact, it's so good that it manages to stand its own even against some of the turbocharged rivals, and that's saying something. The 6-speed manual transmission is an absolute gem. The throws are short, very slick shifting, and the clutch is light. So overall, you'll have a lot of fun driving this. In fact, if you love to drive, this is the transmission option that you should be going for. I mean, that's my personal choice. If you want more convenience, then you could go for the CVT. The tractability of this engine, in simple words, is ridiculous. To put it in context, you can drive it from say around 25-30 kilometers per hour to about, I don't know, 140, 150, 160 in just the 6th gear. You don't have to keep shifting. To sum it up, you can cruise along, just chill out on the 6th gear, you don't have to do much. At the same time, if you wish to rev the daylights out of it, you can do that too. And it will comply without any real fuss. Complementing the fantastic engine is its solid chassis. The chassis feels quite agile and the car rides really well. Elevate's ride quality is among the best in class, if not the absolute best. These little undulations on the road, these rubble strips, little potholes, etc. The car remains unfazed by all of it. In fact, the ride quality is so good that the faster you go, that's what I feel, the faster you go, the better it rides. See, the roads here are not super smooth, it's not muska, but just glides over everything. The handling again is phenomenal, very predictable, great feel and feedback on the steering wheel. It's light at low speeds, gains weight progressively, very precise, very confidence inspiring. The ground clearance is a segment leading 220 mm. If the body roll is well in control, I can't think of a car that is this high off the ground and doesn't roll a fair bit. It's actually really impressive. There are no discs at the rear, and honestly you don't really need it because the brakes are just about perfect. Great bite, great stopping power, again gives you a sense of confidence to push the car a little more than you otherwise would. The Elevate feels very planted at high speeds. It's in this department, the ride and handling, where the whole Honda DNA is very, very evident. And I'm very, very, very happy that Honda Car India has not cut any corners here. This is what you really want in a car. This is what you really want in a Honda. And this is what we got here in the Elevate. Makes me very, very happy. It's even more impressive that they've managed to achieve this in a car with such dimensions. Remember, it's quite tall, and the ground clearance, as I mentioned, is the segment leading 220 mm. It's worth noting that the other cars that handle this well are perhaps the German twins, the Skoda Kushaq and the Volkswagen Taygun, and their ground clearance is under 190 mm. Go figure. This is the Honda Elevate from the outside. There are some contrasting opinions about this, the design, on the internet. Personally though, barring maybe the grille, I think the overall design is quite understated and non-polarizing. It is not unnecessarily complex. It is not complex for the sake of being complex, and that is a good thing. The Elevate has a very retro modern SUV vibe to it. It's tall, it's boxy, and that massive ground clearance coupled with the tall bonnet, the flat and tall front profile with the big grille and the Honda logo in its center exemplify that. Talking about some of the highlights of the features and the design elements outside, up front you get this all LED light setup. LED projectors for the low beam, for the high beam, LED DRLs, LED fog lamps. The fog lamp housings are placed vertically because it's just so tall. Also, a 4 skid plate at the bottom. The black cladding runs across the car, and on the side, there's a little design element here that I think looks nice and breaks the monotony of the simple design. For me, these mirrors are some of the most underrated bits about this car. It's big, it's chunky, and really adds to the whole SUV character. Obviously, it's very handy when you are in the driver's seat. So yeah, really good addition over here. The rear is again quite clean and understated with part LED tail lamps, cladding at the bottom along with a 4 skid plate. This I think could have been a little more interesting. There's a lot of room over here to play with and be a little more creative, a little more adventurous, so to speak. You also get roof rails which are usable. All of this combined do really well to make it look like a proper SUV, ensuring it manages to stand out regardless of its understated design. The boot, it's pretty big, 458 liters, class leading, and the loading lip is not very high either. So in case if you have to load a lot of luggage, no matter how heavy, it shouldn't be much of a task. And it's shaped pretty well as well. So in case if you have to kidnap someone, you can keep them over here in comfort. The seats here are superb. It's supremely comfortable. The cushioning is great. Under thigh support is good. You get this armrest over here with 2 cup holders. I don't really know anyone who uses these cup holders to keep cups, but that's besides the point. Overall, a very, very comfortable space to be in. There's a lot of knee room, a lot of leg room. The windows are huge, so you get a really good view of what's happening outside. In general, it's such a nice place to be in. Even the armrest, unlike say the Honda City, it doesn't fall all the way down, and it has this perfect positioning for a Honda. You've got AC vents over here, you've got a 12-volt charging socket, no USB A or C or anything. You also get 3 adjustable headrests on the rear now. Pretty cool, Honda. The layout here is very neat and classy, a term I found myself using a lot while talking about the interiors of the Elevate. The tan seats and these inserts on the door pads look quite upmarket. Overall, you just have a great sense of comfort. You're gonna love the front seats, and I'm not talking just about the driving position. Obviously, the driving position is fantastic. You get a commanding view of what's happening outside, but just the sheer comfort levels over here, I think it's the segment benchmark. These seats are a segment benchmark. Incredible comfort. I think ventilated seats over here would have made it all the more special. The whole cabin layout of the Honda Elevate is so classy. I'm really glad that they've gone with this design. It's clean, minimalistic, and very practical. It will actually remind you of some of the Hondas from back in the day. The stand treatment on the dash, the soft touch materials. Of course, it's not soft touch all over the dash, but you get soft touch materials here. You get it on the door pads, you get it on the armrest on the door pads. There's this faux wood treatment on the dash. The overall quality is pretty high, and this color combination, the general layout, classy. It is not as flamboyant or as flashy as some of the other cars in this segment, and that is actually refreshing. The feature list is good, but kind of falls short when compared to some of its competitors. It is still very well equipped though. This 10.25-inch touchscreen infotainment system, which is slick to use and is great at what it's designed for. That is Android Auto and Apple CarPlay, wireless, and some other info that you may need it for. You also get physical buttons, which I think is a great touch. Single pane sunroof. I know a lot of people were complaining about panoramic sunroof kyun nahi hai. Nahi hai. Honestly, I don't really care about it because a panoramic sunroof is not on my list of must-have features in a car. I think this more than does it for me. Auto dimming IRVM, it's frameless, looks very nice. Automatic climate control. It doesn't get a 360-degree camera, but gets this lane watch camera, this blind spot monitoring camera, and it's very handy. This leather wrap steering wheel feels good to hold, gets all the controls for the infotainment system, for ADAS, as well as for the instrument cluster, which is semi-digital but very functional and usable. That will show you all the information that you need. A rather big wireless phone charger. I think you can probably charge 2 phones over here. 2 USB ports, Type A though, no Type C charging ports here. A 12-volt charging socket and a lot of storage areas. A couple of cup holders over here, space to hold 1 liter water bottle, a half liter water bottle, and some more knickknacks here in the door pockets. Some more door pockets, space to store stuff here, space over here. Very practical cabin. The safety features include 6 airbags, ABS, ESC, and everything that has pretty much become a standard today. It also gets ADAS. I am a bit divided on the whole ADAS tech in general, but I genuinely liked how it works in the Elevate. It's non-intrusive and doesn't really disturb your driving experience. Let's talk about the Honda Elevate's shortcomings for a bit. For starters, there's only one engine option on offer. And why is there no hybrid?
Well, they're directly going electric with this. Although a hybrid would have been great because they're just so good at it.
Come on Honda, give us some more hybrids. Also, it'll make it easier for you to achieve your cafe targets. Also, Honda, get at least one turbocharged car to India. You have some insane models being sold internationally, and you can bet that Indians are gonna love it. Some of those Halo products would be really cool. Another gripe I have here is with the NVH levels. While I love the sound of the engine roaring like this, I feel like the sound insulation could have been better. A bit of the road noise and the wind noise, the tire noise tends to creep into the cabin, which could be better. The sound though, the sound of the engine, some people complain about it, but why are you complaining? It's such a good sound. In fact, you should keep revving the daylights out of it because it's just music to ears. Please don't change this Honda, let this sound be the engine sound. The rest you can work on, sure. So, who should buy the Honda Elevate? Primarily, people looking to buy a car that's got its fundamentals sorted. Great engine, great transmission, even the CVT is really good. We'll do a video on that soon, but this manual transmission, the 6-speed manual, is absolutely phenomenal.
Add to that, top class ride and handling, great space and comfort, the classy vibe inside, understated but proper SUV-ish design, all of it to go with bulletproof reliability makes it a compelling buy.
And while it has only one engine option on offer, this one engine is the absolute best naturally aspirated engine available in the country today. And if you don't want any of the shortcomings that come along with, say, a turbocharged motor, this is your best bet. A big thanks to Artha Honda for lending me the car for an extended period. This is where you should come to test drive the Honda Elevate. And this was my take on the Honda Elevate. If you like the video, do consider subscribing and maybe, just maybe, hit the bell icon. I'll see you soon.